welcome to my channel, Rebag Revolutions, where I make bags, quilts, little bags, you name it. I just like to make everything. So the idea of this channel is to just make videos for people who are just starting out, who want to learn. I'm still learning. I've only been sewing about a year. My brand is Rebag Revolution. I make and sell bags, which has done quite well. I've learnt a lot along the way, and I just wanted to make some videos for people who are just starting out to show the realistic aspects of learning a new skill. And it's not always going to go right. Everyone makes mistakes. Even experienced people make mistakes. We'll learn along the way how to fix the mistakes and just have fun. You know, we'll chat in the comments. You guys need to let me know what you want to see on the channel because it's brand new. I've never done this before, but I just thought it's worth a go and it might help someone. So let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, what you'd like to learn, if you'd like to do some sew-alongs and we'll just sew along together live. Just let me know. I want everyone to participate in the channel and give something to everyone. So today we're going to make a pretty basic tote bag with a lining. So I'm going to take you through step by step, and excuse the camera quality, I am new. So let's get started. We're going to need 2 pieces of external fabric. If you've got patterned fabric, make sure you cut the pattern so the bits are showing that you like. This is just regular cotton bedsheet material. Rebag Revolution only ever uses recycled materials. I very rarely buy anything new. I go to charity shops, friends and family give me unwanted fabric, and I just want to save it from landfill and make nice things that can have a further use and purpose. So this was a bedsheet. I think I've made about 20 bags out of this, so a little bit goes a long way, and it's really cheap, and some of the fabric in the charity shops is just absolutely beautiful. So this is just a bed sheet, just a cotton sheet, and you're going to want to put some firm medium interfacing. I like to do mine pretty much all the way around the edge because even the fusible, it does sometimes peel as you're moving the bag about and taking it inside out. So these are 19 by 19 inches. So both of those are the same. Then you're going to need 2 lining pieces of the fabric of your choice, usually lightweight for the lining, just very lightweight cotton. And these are 19 by 19 as well. And then you will need 2 straps. These are 26 inches, and these are corded straps with a little bit of fabric glue on the ends to stop them fraying. So that is what you need. You'll need a sewing machine. I mean, you can hand sew this, but it will take a lot longer. A square, a little pair of scissors, a bigger pair of scissors, and some little clips or pins if you prefer. A fabric marker or chalk, and that's about it. So the first step we need to do is measure the fabric and attach the straps. So you need to find the centre of your fabric and then 4 inches apart and 3 inches down. That's where we're going to be attaching the straps. So make sure your straps are not twisted and line them up on the inside mark, on the inside of your mark. And put some clips on or pins, however you prefer, so that you can keep it in place. I'm using water removable fabric pen. So just a little bit of water and the pen marks will come off, so it won't ruin your fabric. So you're going to want to do that for both. Making sure you have the right side up. Exactly the same measurements as before. Making sure your straps are not twisted. And just line up, keeping everything nice and straight. Pop a couple of clips in. And we are going to sew in a square about an inch from the top, from the bottom, maybe an inch and a half. So I like to just mark where I'm going to start so that they look nice and neat. Do the same on the other side. So we're going to go an inch and a half. So we're just going to sew a square and then do 2 diagonal lines that will be nice and secure to the bag. Okay, now we can get on and start sewing the squares on. Always do a back stitch at the beginning and end because we need these nice and strong. So fairly close to the edge, but not right up against it. Turn. You have to give your fabric a bit of a roll to get under the arm. Now's a good time to remove the clips, everything's secure. And we just go in a diagonal to one corner. And I'd like to go down again one more time. And back stitch to finish. And cut. So we're going to do that for the rest of the 3 straps. Making sure that you keep everything, double check everything's lined up because you don't want straps, odd straps. Now we have both straps complete. So now we have our straps on our bag. It's time to construct the bag. So you need to put both your pieces facing together. Make sure you line everything up nice and neat. So all the edges from the bottom are nice and even and straight. And then top. A few clips or pins just to stop it from shifting. And the other goes all the way down and across the bottom. Now it's time to sew the edges together. So you want about 3/8 of an inch, or the width of your presser foot is how I prefer to do it, because then I can keep a nice straight line. So make sure that you back stitch at the beginning. And a nice back stitch to finish. So now we're going to do exactly the same thing as we did with the outer bag. The only difference is we need to sew down to the line, leaving about a 4-inch gap that we don't sew, and then we sew all around the sides, the bottom, and up the whole length of the other side. We need to leave the gap so that when we come to turn the bag inside out, we can pull the main bag from inside. So down, leave 4 inches, all the way down, all the way across, and then all the way up the other side. So we're going to sew all the way to the mark we've made, leave the gap down to the bottom, all the way across the bottom, and all the way back up to the top. Same seam allowance as before, and remember to back stitch. Remember to back stitch just before and after you've left the gap. So now we need to mark off on the inner and outer fabrics to do our box corners. So I usually do 3 inches by 3 inches. I think that gives a nice box corner. The bag stands up on its own. If you're using firmer interfacing like I am, the bag will stay up so you can put shopping in a lot easier. So 3 inches by 3 inches. And then cut out that nice square. Try and keep it nice and straight. We will repeat the lining. I did pop this over to the iron just to give it a bit of a freshen up because it was a little bit creased. We want it nice and flat to be able to do our top corners. So the same again, make sure it is the bottom of your bag. 3 inches by 3 inches. So what we're going to do is fold the bag so both the seams are together. But what you're going to do is put one seam to the right and one seam to the left. They do want to sit together naturally. You have one to the left and one to the right. Just makes it fit a lot nicer. And just pop the slip in. Make sure this side is nice and lined up. And another clip. Same this side. The neater and more lined up you can get these, the nicer the box corner will be. So with the bottom seam, make sure that it runs the same way each side, so you get a nice flat bottom and it's not twisted underneath the bag. So the same with the top, one to the right, one to the left. So now we're going to do the same seam allowance across. So with the outer fabric, do probably 4 back stitches at the beginning, 4 back stitches over the seam, and then 4 back stitches at the end. Do this for each corner, for the outer layer and the lining. So we're going to sew our box corners as the same. Remember the back stitch just a little bit on the inside, on the lining. It doesn't need any support. And that's just the outer. For the outer bag, but remember to do several back stitches at the beginning, middle, where the seam is, and at the end, so that it has enough support. It's going to be carrying the weight. the outer and the inner all sewed together with our gap at the side and our lining. Now is a really good time to go and iron your seams so that they're sitting nice and flat. Do that for both of the bags. I have a sewing hand which is amazing. It makes life so much easier, and they are really cheap on Amazon. I think I actually got this from Temu. I think it was about £3, but they are very, very good. So leaving your lining inside out, so your seams are on the outside, your outer fabric turning the right way, and then we need to put the outer fabric inside the lining. It's going to look a bit squished at the moment, but that's okay, so it'll all sort itself out. Make sure that your straps are inside between the lining and the outer fabric. And then get your seams and line them up so that they're together, and pop a clip in. Do the same on the other side. So make sure they're all matched up. And then how I do this is I hold the material taut and find the middle, pop a clip in, and continue clipping or pinning all the way around the bag. All clipped together. Make sure that your straps are not on the outside and that they've been tucked inside. Then we'll take it to the sewing machine and sew all the way round. I find it easier to take off that section of the sewing machine because you're going to be going in a continuous circle. Just makes life a little bit easier, having less things in the way. So I like to start at the seam, just because then you can kind of hide the back stitch a little bit. So 3/8 of an inch on the side of your press foot, however you were doing the last lot, and then all the way back stitch, all the way round, little back stitch, finish. And now the bag is all nice and sewn together. This is the really fun part. It's called, a lot of people call it birthing the bag. So you're just turning the bag the right way round. So you need to pop your hand in the hole. And this may take a few minutes because the hole's quite small. You just need to tease the outer fabric of your bag through this hole till it's all through. So you just have to sort of go round, pull out a little bit, go round, pull out a little bit more. Just be careful not to put too much strain on your seams where your hole of your bag is. You don't want to end up ripping those. So, little bit by little bit, no rush. It will come out. Just needs a little bit convincing sometimes. Once you've got the bulk out of the way, it's not too bad. Now, you can see we have the outer, the inner, all joined together. So you can pop that inside. You can really start to see your bag coming together nicely now. We're nearly there, and you nearly have a lovely, handmade, unique tote bag that you can brag about. So you can press these seams to make them crisp, but because I use quite firm interfacing, the seams do sit really nice together. So sometimes you just give them a roll and you can get them to sit really nice without pressing them. So you're going to do that all the way around, making sure the lining is on the inside and you can't see it from the outside. So go all the way round. So you've got all the outside pins. We're going to take it back to the sewing machine. So the same seam allowance, 3/8 of an inch, or your pressure foot width, all the way around. Try and keep it as straight as possible because you are going to see these stitches from the outside. They will be visible. We won't hide those. So all the way round. So we're going to sew all the way round, making sure to keep your lining tucked in so it's not visible from the outside. So once you get to the straps, pull the strap back up to the bag, keeping it nice and straight. We're going to stitch across that. It will just give the bag a bit more stability and keep the straps where we want them. Checking your lining, if it creased up underneath, and it's all nice and straight. good time to trim all your little tails, little threads, give them a little snip off. So, if you remember, we have this hole in our lining where we pulled the bag through. So now we need to seal that hole. So if you press, it should be very easy because it will just naturally want to line up. So just line that up as neat as you can. Pop a couple of clips in. And then we're going to sew as close to this edge as possible. So just start just a bit before where the opening started, just to secure it, a little back stitch, all the way along as close as possible, capturing both sides, and then just after the end, go a little bit further on and do a couple of back stitches. So we're going to seal up that hole as close to the edge as you can. Seal up that hole close to the edge as you can. If you have an adjustable needle, it's very handy to move it as far right as you can, because then that means your presser foot makes more contact with the fabric, meaning your lines are not going to go wonky because your presser foot is holding everything together. So I put mine all the way to the right, which means I can get nice and close to the edge. So little back stitch at the beginning and little back stitch at the end. As you can see, you can barely see those stitches. All together, looking beautiful. The last step, as you can see in that bag, the lining all loose, which is going to get annoying when you're trying to get things in and out of the bag. It's just going to get caught up in everything and just get annoying. So how I fix this is I find the corner of the lining and push it right in to this corner and sort of tuck it under the seam of the lining so that they all fit nice and snug. You sort of pinch the two fabrics together in the seam. And do the same with the other corner. Line it up with the seam. Pop a clip in and do the same on the other side. Good opportunity to make sure all your corners are poked out nice and crisp as well. So what we're going to do now is about a centimetre from this corner. We're going to do a little back stitch all along here till about a centimetre away from this corner, a little back stitch we're only going to do a very narrow seam, just to hold those two pieces of fabric together. We're just going to do that very small seam, 1 centimetre from each corner. Over to the iron, giving it a really good press, pressed in all the corners, and you can see how nice those boxing corners are, how square they are, and stands up nicely on its own. When you're packing your shopping, just stands up nicely, put all your stuff in, and off you go. These do fold up quite well. Their firmer interfacing makes it a little bit bulkier than a, canvas tote. But I like the bulkiness of it. It keeps everything together. So I hope you make some, your family and friends some. Really good present now that you have to pay for carrier bags. And you need reusable ones. If you do end up making it, I'd love to know how you got on, if you found the video helpful, and what you made, what colours you made. I'd love to know that people have made them. So if you could subscribe and like the channel if you enjoyed this video, and I will be back soon. Thank you.